go deeper. So you're saying that's how you face the world because you're a realist.
Very real. I'm a realist.
27 plus years of life. You're saying that because of how the world treats you. But what I'm saying is you have to now get to a point where you gotta decide how you're going to step into the room. Because if you stepped up to me, and last time you never asked to come to you stepped up to me, and I'm gonna be very stereotypical. You stepped up to me very bubbly, dancing, kiss me on my cheeks, movie and hip hop, very reminiscent of Hispanic culture. I'm gonna think you're Hispanic. I'm not even gonna think, oh, she's not from here, because of how you decided to present. So the battle between who you are and what you are presented as, and what the pressure is up to you. So whatever you decide is always gonna come back to how you want to present first. Then from there, you can expand. No one can tell you who you are
Except for me.
That's it. That's it. So when you say you're biracial, no, you're just a person who's here like everyone else, and you can decide how and who you want to be. And we really what it is tomorrow, Sunday, 9/17, whatever. They gonna have to deal with who you say you are, not who you've learned yourself to be, or whatever.
I said, because I do. I guess that's not a contradiction, but I do say that we are what we're doing. Like we're more in control than what we feel like we are in control of. You know what I mean? But I'm only human. So there's only those conflictions that I'm facing. And so there's only time that I'm learning. And I feel like this conversation has made me broaden my perspective on who I am. Because it's hard. Like I'm battling it, but I'm still learning it at the same time because I started late in discovery of who I am. So I'm stepping into a place that I'm in my life. I put myself first, and so now that rediscovery, so the rediscovery of who I am is happening right now as you're speaking. So I feel like everything that you said is translating to me because that's literally where I am right now in the rediscovery phase. So I'm blessed to hear that because it's not every day I meet somebody who has that perspective, because I meet people every day that's like, you have to choose who you are, and then I'm like, bitch, I'm in the middle, like, what am I supposed to do? Like,
you could be in the middle if you want, but if you decide to be in the middle, people could join you on the line, if you wanted to. But you're saying, hey everyone, hey I'm here, I can do two-way street. Instead of saying, hey everyone, this is a two-way street.
Saying like it is.
Like standing in that.
It's two totally different things. It's an energy, it's a presence, and there's nothing for you to worry about. And you have the skills, because you speak Spanish and I don't. Yet I can be in both rooms, but you feel like you can't. You see what I'm saying? So you have more skills than I do. Now you can take it straight up. It's all mental, and I'm gonna give this example. It might be simple, but so circus elephants, and I use elephants because we're all animals at the end of the day. They're able to train them only because at a young age they cage them, and when they grow older, they only listen because of what they knew when they were younger. So kudos to you for trying to undo what you were taught when you were young. Because we don't have to stay there.
We don't.
I am a firm believer that I'm not where I came from. Because if I was where I came from, I'd be able right before you right now, I'd be a full individual. And that's just straight up.
Can I take you one more step on that? So you say that if you
$1,000, I'm sorry.
I know, I love it. But I did come in like in the middle of this, so I do need you to like start from the jump on your boundaries and how y'all got to this point.
So real quick, I'm answering boundaries. Let me just say what I was gonna say. When you said if you started where you were, you'd be fucked up. Where you are is a blessing to you because you have a starting point and a reference point. Okay. Don't ever feel like someone didn't give you enough, or don't ever feel like, oh, if I did what they did. Because whenever you are, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the question? I'm sorry. Let's cut it. Okay.
No, it's perfect.
What was the question? No, ask me a question again.
No, so the topic is boundaries and where you stand on them, what they are to you, and how they tie into respect.
So for me, I feel like boundaries first start with who you are, and you understand where you are in the world, and you decide how other people are going to treat you. Doesn't mean that you're going to be rude or nice. It's just about you understanding the principles that you set for yourself in the world.
Yeah.
And you guide yourself and govern yourself according to what those principles mean.
Yeah.
So if someone does something that validates or violates what you believe, as far as your principles go, you have to make a decision. But boundaries are important because it allows you to give everybody a fair litmus test on who they are and where they're placed in your life.
Yeah.
So boundaries, I think, is important for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody should have them based on what they want out of life.
So if somebody crosses your boundaries, how many times do you give them an opportunity to get it right?
It's so it's not about a number of times. It's more about the nature of what's crossed. Because if someone crosses a boundary that I feel like is a value of who they are, then it may be one time, and because you see, oh, this is who they are. If they cross a boundary that's, hey, this is something that I don't like, it might be on a lighter side, a pet peeve, maybe you give some leeway. But the point of a boundary is really goes back to knowing who you are and what you're going to allow. So it's not about the amount of times. It's more so how deep is the value aligned with the core of who the person you're dealing with.
Yeah. Yes.
So have you ever had an obstacle setting your boundaries with people, or have you always been the type that knew how to set your boundaries with people?
No. I think for me, I've had issues. It's easy to have issues setting boundaries with people that you really like. Because you prefer them.
Dry out.
You like who they are. Maybe in your mind you built something up, and they done did something, and it's like, yo, if you was anybody else, you might not say this, but it's like, yo, if you was anybody else, I would not go with this.
Exactly.
Because you're like my best friend, because I like you. I mean, oh, you know what? They didn't mean it, or something. You might steer on. So I'm not gonna say I still struggle with it, but it's something for me to be aware of.
Right.
Everybody.
I feel like self-aware is the first step, though, because a lot of people don't even recognize that in themselves. You know what I mean? Because I recognize with that wholeheartedly, because when I'm set on somebody, I'm set on somebody. I see the good in them. You know what I mean? Like,
I want to ask you why.
right? Oh, because I have people pleaser tendencies. I'm very nurturing.
What does people pleaser tendencies?
To me, personally, it's like when I see the good in you, I see the good in you. I see the potential in you, and that 9 times out of 10 always got me in a predicament that doesn't serve me. So, I've come to realize that now that I've gotten older, but like in the past, that's how they walked all over me and my boundaries were crossed. But I allowed that. I took accountability for that because I recognized that even in those moments, I was like, you're doing this to me. I know it feels wrong. I know it is wrong. I can identify that, but I'm still allowing it to happen because it was just something in me that just wanted to make sure, like, you are good, you're straight, you know that I love you, you know that I support you, you know that this and that, you know what I mean? Like, so that was just something that I had to overcome. So, yeah, like, I don't know, it's like, I was battling between what was right and like myself and what I conform to, if that makes sense.
It does.
You know what I mean? So
Not you becoming the interviewer.
I want to ask something.
Okay,
So my question would be, I'm just gonna go straight there. I'm not even gonna walk you. So
I like it, straight shooter.
what is the fear with you being wrong about someone doing stuff that's positive? And you said that you want to believe they're doing positive. What is the fear about? Because there's a fear.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I know what that is. I can identify that.
What are you scared of? What do you think that means for you?
Because
So
me, like, if I know you and you've done me wrong over and over again, my thing is like it will be projected into the world that like I was wrong. You know what I mean?
Is it about you being wrong? Is it about you not being validated? Is it about?
I think it's me operating out of my ego. It's me operating out of my ego, and I know that. That's why, like, self-work is so important to me right now, because 9 times, like, I know I operate out of my. Most of the times in my past, I've operated out of my ego.
Same.
It's ego-driven. So if, like, me and you, we're chatting up, and I don't want her to know that you may be doing me wrong. That's my ego speaking. I'm not operating out of a place of real love and real rawness. I'm operating out of a place like it's my ego. All that's my ego. So I know that. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I know that, and then it's the battle between ego and self. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like Hannah Montana? Do you feel like?
I just, girl, because
That's what it
I feel the same way, honestly.
Do you feel like you being wrong? Do you feel like that invalidates something?
Yeah. So like that is just a transparency of maybe something like I know it is from my childhood, because like I can't be wrong without being free. You know what I mean? There's not a safe space for me to be wrong. So if I'm
No.
It's okay for you to be wrong.
you know, like,
Yes,
if I'm wrong,
yes.
I'm like scolded for it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No.
you know, I'm
Don't now. It doesn't
yes.
feel so
So that's what I came to terms with, because I've operated out of my ego a lot. And being like, and I'm telling you, my journey started in a 2-year span where I'm operating out of my ego. I'm trying to put that on me. Like, I'm walking and talking out of my ego. Like, I'm really trying to lead with that, because I have to get out of that. There's no progression further for me, because I know what that leads to. I'm going to continue to be walked all over. I'm going to continue to be pushed to the back burner. I'm going to allow myself, because it ain't nobody. At the end of the day, we are in charge of who we are, so I'm allowing it. At the end of the day, all this stuff that has been and will be is up to me, because I'm in control. So that's something that I can determine with. So operating out of my ego is the answer. But you know, it's easier said than done. So every day the mission is stay self-aware.
Yeah.
Be observant.
Yeah.
Operate in the space that you know you're not in your ego. Admit your wrongs, accountability, all that stuff. It translates. It's translating into, you know what I mean? So it's like, because I'm not a product of where I come from. I'm not, and I refuse. I
you refuse to accept
it. Exactly, because if I would, I'd be sitting here saying the complete opposite. I know what it is. You know what I mean? So it's like, ego is the death of all people, and I believe that. Ego is the death of many good things if you're operating out of your ego. That's just my take. My perspective, because I lived through that. I breathed through that. I was that. You know what I mean? I've operated out of that stuff, so you gotta let that ego go.
Yes, cousin. And what I want to know is what you've been through to get to the point to realize this.
So for me, what I've been through, I think a lot of my life I've been taught to do the right thing. Right? Do this here, blah blah blah, and I would follow it. But what I did would not make sense to me, and at some point I would you know what, I'm gonna do what I feel, or I do what would make sense to me, and then I would make mistakes, or life would happen as it was, and then I had a chance to really look back and identify things that I could then decide, do I align with them, or are they things that I don't really want to be this person? Because there's actions that I've done over the years that people, maybe they've called me out on it, maybe they've not. But as an older, I guess, adult male, I can look at stuff and realize this is not something that exemplifies a person that I want to be. So with your question, what have I gone through? It's just going through life and being able to like reflect on things that has happened and thought about who I am and who I want to be, and realizing that things that I've done has or has not mirrored who I think I want to be. So it's a constant focus on, again, your principles, and how does that line up with who you are now and who you want to be.
Look at my wrist, I got time today. Fuck it, I'm crossing the line today. The hate be so real, the love be fake. Be bumping, they gone.
A boundary. Are we talking?
A friendship, relationship.
Oh yeah. Okay. So boundaries are important, and my thing is, everyone has different kind of boundaries, but you have to have boundaries. I used to know a friend that didn't have boundaries, and he got walked on, all kinds of stuff. That's what. If you don't have boundaries, people naturally, and it's not even on purpose, they'll just run you over. So if you have boundaries, you say, wait a minute, I'm not comfortable with that, or
do you have the
it's on the same kind of plate when you talk to a potential situation or significant other. You have to talk about that at some point, but you shouldn't just come out and be like, all right, here's my boundaries, boom, 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 boom. That's too much. But you should be like, look, when it comes up, you should definitely address it. Don't let it get to the point where it's like it's too late.
Right. Where something like comes up and you're like, oh, actually.
Yeah. It's like, last month or last year when you did that, no, it's too late. If something happens, like, look, maybe even a day later, be like, look, when you did that, it was a little too much, or I didn't like that, or you were crossing the boundary. But like to come out, because most people don't even know their boundaries, and it takes a while to even realize what your boundaries are.
So
I just said a whole spiel.
do you feel like boundaries and respect fall in line?
Yes, because if someone don't respect you, they're
There's
going to
no
respect your
boundaries.
boundaries.
Yes.
If they don't respect you, there is no boundaries. And a lot of people, that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like have you ever been in a situation where your boundaries have been crossed, and how did you deal with that?
So I have boundaries, but my boundaries are probably not as tight as most people's boundaries.
Okay.
I am a people pleaser, so like I'm okay with
Same.
I'm okay with doing stuff for people, and it's like, oh damn, I gotta like.
So do you feel like
I feel like I'm being used. It's like it's cool. I'm cool with that. There's very few situations I have them, but there's very few situations like I'm being used, or like oh, she just like violated me.
Do you feel like in those situations though, when you are being used or when the boundaries are being crossed, that you have a difficulty setting them or letting them know, like, hey, this
not
is...
me, but most people do.
Right.
Most people have problem with communication.
No.
I always say communication is the key, but it's hard. It's hard telling someone. It's hard saying no, and that's pretty much telling them. If you're telling you setting a boundary, that's pretty much telling them don't do something. And it's hard to do that to someone. Especially if you like them. So that's why people are like, they usually get walked on.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to get walked on than to be like, look, don't ever do that again.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel that. So do you feel like... So have you been put in that situation where you have to like...
Yes, because it's human nature. People don't even do it on purpose. It happens naturally.
Right.
That's why it happens all the time.
Right.
Yes, everyone's been put in that situation.
Right.
Some people more than others. And then some people don't know when you at some point, come on now.
Yeah.
That's what my friend and I'm talking about. At some point, maybe it takes an outside force to be like, look, come on now. Like,
Is your friend here tonight?
no. This is not the friend I'm talking about. That is my friend though.
Okay. Well,
and I won't put him on the spotlight.
Right. I appreciate your
yes.
And you're gonna edit this so I don't look like a.
No, of course, yes. No, but that was perfect. That was perfect. No, you did.
She gonna chop it up and make me look like.
I know that Virgo shit though. Like, I know.
Yes, Virgo.
Some bump on my tape, don't go against me, they ask for my help. Go get out your feelings and get it yourself. Might got the same shoes, but you ain't gon' step. That shit that you just put out, you could've kept. Yo.
Your best friend.
Yeah, mama.
That's a relationship. That's the type of family you want to build. You know, like.
My mom, one of the homies.
So, what our podcast is, the realest of the realest.
Yeah, we're vulnerable on that bitch. We get real, we get raw, we just
at your fucking core.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Oh yeah.
That's that Virgo shit though. What is your definition of a boundary?
Boundary, it depends. Boundary is just some like fake disloyal shit. That's how I'm boundary. Like you trying to do some sneaky shit, like some trying to get over on somebody. Like that's my boundary. People, when I peep you doing some like trying to be sneaky and shit.
Yeah.
That's like boundaries.
Okay.
Sneaky.
It depends on what we're talking about. Like, what we talking about? Like a relationship?
Yeah, like any type
of boundary.
Friendship.
I mean, I agree with him. It depends. Like, if you trying to get over on me, then you crossing the line.
Yeah, like that slick shit.
Yeah, like you trying to be slick.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what's slick. Not you, but I'm saying in general, somebody know what slick is. Like,
trying to finesse and
exactly.
What's a boundary that you set with your friends or like someone you really close
You can't
with?
know me.
Yeah, disloyalty.
Okay, loyalty.
Okay.
I said we don't even got to talk every day. We could talk every 3 months.
Like,
yeah.
Just don't do no sneaky slick shit.
Yeah.
Cause you know it's sneaky. Cause you
gonna
that mental gonna hit you. Like, should I really do this? If you
Yeah.
go with
And that's when people got a decision to make. Like, so when you cross that decision, that's what I say.
Would y'all say that that's attached to how you feel respected?
Yeah, it depends on what type of niggas you got in your circle though. They gonna respect you. If you that type of person, they gonna respect you no matter what. So if you're a goofy and they look at you as goofy,
because you don't
the first thing that's gonna come through their mind, like let's say if we dating one of y'all, you feel me? And something come about, they be like, y'all trying to talk to one of them. It's like, okay, I obviously don't respect this nigga, so I'm gonna talk to her anyway. You know what I'm saying?
You're crossing that line.
Exactly.
Right.
It's like it's a respect thing. Like, if you don't respect me in the first place, you're gonna talk to my girl anyway. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you feel like respect is to you? Like,
Yes, thanks for asking.
It depends on who's showing respect, because there's different levels to it. You expect respect on different levels out of different people.
Exactly.
Like from y'all, let's just for example, all y'all it's like a greeting respect.
Yeah,
Out of
respect
them,
is
it's
just
like
kindness.
a loyalty respect.
That's all
You know what I'm
it is.
saying?
It's just kindness.
Exactly.
Like when I consider you as a friend and shit like that, so it's like when you did some disloyalty, like that shit gonna really hurt you.
Yeah.
Niggas
Because
know.
you don't open that up.
Exactly.
Like you say, if it was like say how I just met y'all, if a she snaked me or whatever, I'm gonna be like, oh damn, like it's a stranger. I expect that from strangers, but like you say, if I consider you as like a brother, like a close friend, that shit gonna like.
When somebody like crosses the boundaries, they
You
like,
gone.
do you just cut them off?
Yeah, it's
or do you have a hard conversation with them?
No,
like,
it's not. It's fucking.
Nah, but that's being real. I'm gonna tell you about like, oh, that's some.
This is where you cross
Yeah,
me. This is what it is.
I don't care because you know you cross me.
Because you gotta
people
learn
know
from your
when they
mistakes.
cross the line.
Yes.
You feel me? It's not like you gotta tell somebody to cross. People know when they cross the line. I don't care what the situation is, because 9 times out of 10 it's gonna fuck with your mental. You feel me? And you like when the
Like I
person
said,
bring that
I'm
conversation
gonna
to
take
you.
it to the heart.
What's your definition of respect for you? What's respect for you?
Like say if I leave my wallet around, if some money go missing, like if y'all do it, I'm gonna be like, I can expect that from a stranger. I don't know nobody. But if they do it, like my feelings gonna be hurt. Like that.
Yeah. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. You're strong, bro.